Okay. So, call the meeting in order. Please stand for the pledge. Prayer for Pastor Brad. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us all take a moment and bow our heads in prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for the bountiful blessings you've given to the community of Blissfield. We ask that your spirit fill this place tonight, rest upon our hearts, our minds, and our souls. Give us the guidance that we need to earnestly do good work for our community in your Son's holy name. We just give thanks and praise for all of our bountiful blessings to make all these things possible. In Jesus' name, we give thanks and praise. Amen. Blessings on your meeting.
Thank you. You make that. All right, we'll go ahead and open up the meeting with a roll call, Lisa.
Kane Tyson. Mike Gunner.
Here.
Van Dusa. Bill Brinsmaker.
Here.
Jerry Hayes.
Here.
Eric Rogers.
Here.
Timothy Waters.
Present. Okay. First on the agenda tonight is to approve minutes from the last official council meeting from March 13th.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the March 13th, 2023 council meeting as presented.
Support. I got a motion, Jerry, second Tim, to approve the minutes of the March 13th, 2023 council meeting as presented. Any comments or discussion? Hearing none, Lisa, please call roll for that.
Bill.
Yes.
Eric.
Yes.
Tim.
Yes.
Jerry.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes. Motion carries. Up next, presentations and communications. Nothing. All right, the agenda approval for tonight's meeting.
Make motion to approve the agenda as presented. I'll support that.
Got a motion, Sam, second, Jerry, to approve the agenda as presented. Any discussion? If not, Lisa, please call roll.
Eric.
Yes.
Bill.
Yes.
Jerry.
Yes.
Tim.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes. Motion carries. First is to allow public to address the council for items on the agenda. Are there any members of the public that do want to discuss anything from the agenda? Now we'll move on to unfinished business. Anyone have anything? All right, we'll move on to new business. First on that list is to approve the purchase of an aquatic center picnic covered awning. We'll turn it over to Eric for discussion on that.
You guys need to see a picture again of this awning.
Do you have one handy?
I've got one right over here.
Can you grab it?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Be one.
My bicycle is mad.
You pat that around.
Yep.
You can set it behind you when you're done.
I didn't see it, yeah. You guys, we're gonna.
Nice.
there.
So what that is, one awning, there's three in the picture, there's only one awning, we're gonna go with the blue. Kind of matches the aquatic center, obviously. We have a bid on there tonight. For the cement also pad. Which will be underneath that. What we want to do is have this as a focal area for our people that want to eat out there. We're upgrading our concession stand. And we want to fence this off. We'll extend our fence, which will come back to you guys with a bid on that here in the near future too. So this is a way to get people out, having an area where they can relax. We'll get some picnic tables eventually. And get them away from the pool a little bit. So we're not having any messes out there, but this will be a nice little area. We can have birthday parties out there. We can even have events out there. So we can do quite a few things. Looked around a lot. We Anita and I both looked. This is the one we come up with that we thought would be best for us. This has an option, we can take the awning down at the end of the swim season, store it, put it back up the next season. So I thought that was a kind of a nice option too. We could have got, I think it was $2,000 less to remove that feature, but I thought that was pretty much worth it, just to protect it, especially when it is supposed to be up to 90 mile/hour winds, but they don't want to chance that.
That powder coated frame, is that
Yeah.
steel then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm thinking we mount it right into the cement.
So the posts will stay up year round?
Yeah, yeah. We can wrap them, we can do kind of what we do with the other facility features out there, we can wrap them up in plastic and just to protect them. They should be good anyway, but it doesn't hurt to double protect them, so. My plan is to get volunteers hopefully to help put this up, and I don't think it comes with engineered plans. I don't think it's real tough to do, but we'll get some people out there that know the trades a little bit and get that baby up if you guys approve it. So the other bid was similar to this. I thought this was a little more attractive from when I looked at it. If you guys have pictures, it was a little more expensive also. The other one, I think it was like $1,000 more roughly.
So this is just for the structure, for the shade and
Shade the posts and the
post,
and the
but not
release.
installation.
No installation. Installation was probably another $4,000 or $5,000 more. So I figured there's some good volunteers and put some heads together, we could get that put up. So I'll put you guys down for whatever times you're available.
They're taking a look out there, Eric. I think it might not be a bad thing to keep the fence, but remove the gate. That way it kind of delineates where the
Yeah.
food can actually be in the pool or
Yeah.
from the pool deck.
Yeah.
Might not be bad.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And then secondly, will we have that before Smitty or whoever does pour the concrete? Because it may be beneficial to have anchors or whatever in place when we.
Exactly, we wanna have that where you can put those posts in the cement, so we don't have to drill or do anything to avoid any kind of cracking or possibilities, so. It said it's about 6 to 8 week delivery, which
What's right there?
give or take,
That'd be a nice addition.
yeah, I think it will too, and that's part of our phase 1 plan, so. And we could even have, bands, or we could do whatever we want, it would help with the programming out there also, I believe. So.
So with that, if nobody has any questions, we would entertain a motion.
I just had a question, Eric, on between the two quotes, the one from Willie Goat, which is the lower
Right,
quote, they have a mounting in ground is included. Do you have any, on the other quote, they had rebars, what they specified is going down into the ground.
yeah,
Do you know what their mounting system is?
yeah, I thought to them, it's an option if you wanted to go straight in the ground. Without cement, but with the cement, we can do it either way, we can put them right in the ground.
So that this goes down below, does it go down
Yeah,
like 24 or 30, down?
yeah,
below
it'll go
4
in the
foot?
ground plus through the cement, so we'll have that. I mean, it should never move.
That's all I had, Tim.
Okay.
You were getting ready to make a motion?
Make a motion to approve the purchase of a shade covering for a picnic area for the aquatic center from Willie Goat in the amount of $16,634.99.
I'll support that.
We have a motion by Tim, second by Jerry. To approve the purchase of a shade covering for the picnic area for the aquatic center from Willie Goat in the amount of $16,634.99. Any further discussion? I would just mention, I kind of agree with Eric, make sure we get down to the frost law or the
Oh,
frost line or whatnot. If that thing's gonna be permanent.
Yep.
Let's do it right. Okay, come on, Lisa, please call roll.
Bill,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Jerry,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes. The motion carries.
Thank you,
Second part of
gentlemen.
that project would be the purchase of the concrete work.
So when we're talking concrete work, have you already talked to Smitty about
Yeah, yeah,
the anchoring and?
yeah, I told him, yeah. The two options, you'll see two bids on there, two different companies, then you'll see an optional for a sidewalk going from the slab to the front sidewalk, so there's two different options in there. I believe, L. Smith was roughly about $500 more to add that cement to the actual walking area, which is kind of a no-brainer. But I got two options there, so you can look at both. The other bid is quite a bit higher. That gentleman does good work also, but I think but obviously know which one we probably want to lean towards, so that's totally up to you guys.
I'll move to approve the purchase of the concrete, including the materials and labor for the picnic area for the aquatic center from Al Smith Concrete in the amount of $6,978.
I have a motion, Eric, second, Bill, to approve the purchase of concrete, including materials and labor for a picnic area for the aquatic center from Al Smith Concrete in the amount of $6,978. Any discussion? Further discussion? Lisa, please call roll.
Tim,
Yes.
Jerry,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes,
Mike,
Yes. That motion carries.
Thank
Third on the
you.
list. Thanks, Eric.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time. Third on the list, comparables for municipalities for the compensation study. Obviously, there's been a lot of comments and ideas and dialogue on what through there. Danielle, you're on, correct?
Can you guys hear me okay?
it's. very
Hello?
faint.
Can you guys hear me at all?
I can just barely, they probably can't hear you.
Okay. I do not know why. Can I just tell you, Lisa?
Yes.
Okay. So I just put this on the agenda to help make sure that we didn't violate Open Meetings Act. And I put all of the notes for what people had commented. So I guess if you want to just let them know that I just wanted to see if they had any changes and then just have them make a motion to such.
Okay, I put down the emotion. So you put it on, say that all over again. Sorry.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure why I'm having issues, but I put it on so that we didn't violate Open Meetings Act. And I put the comments on the agendas to what communities people felt we should add or remove.
Perfect, thank you.
I guess get discussion going. Danielle, my questions are, what are we trying to accomplish? Do we want comparables in regards to cities, municipalities, our size, our budget, whatnot? Or do we just want a more vague kind of general idea to see where what people are paying for? Because I get the idea of being comparable in regards to the same size, same budget as us, but also in big picture wise, we're trying to be competitive to all these other cities and municipalities, and we see a lot of our, or some of our staff leave to these other cities for more money or better benefits or whatever. I guess my question is, what exactly are we trying to get out of the study? Is it just to compare relatable cities, or should we say, well, there's a lot of other municipalities that are out in the area that are still paying more, but maybe different size, and that's what we're losing staff to.
So when I spoke with MML, they said that what we should look at is who could we recruit from and who could we lose to? And those should be the communities that we're comparing to. And while like population and revenue should be a factor, the big one is where are we losing our people to? And we don't do a ton of recruiting, but if we were, like, where are we going to pull those people from that's going to be appealing to come to Blissfield?
If that's the case, I mean, I don't think it really matters, where we search, we could just draw random names out of a hat, and come up with comparables, and that's gonna help us say, well, whether we're low or high or middle in regards to our, in regards to wage scale. Again, like I said, we've lost, one to Chelsea, we've lost one to Oakland County, so I think a broader range of sort of just random cities would benefit us more than comparable in budget wise and size wise.
Yeah, and I think that MML came up with a pretty good, some of the feedback I got, so we did recently lose an officer to Chelsea. We've also lost a couple of our utilities and DPW employees to Deerfield. So those maybe we should add, and then look at removing a couple other communities. I don't know that we've recruited or lost anybody to Hillsdale, so maybe that's one that we remove. Cedar Springs was recommended to remove because there's no police department, and I would agree with that. So you could potentially remove those two and then add the other two.
Right, and then I guess the other question, would the study include benefits as well in the package? Because obviously we have pretty good benefits that we provide to our staff.
Yes,
So, go ahead, sorry.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Zoom is a little delayed. When we accepted the proposal from MML, it did include all of the benefits to be reviewed as well as wages.
Okay. Anyone have any input? So we can pick up to 18, is that correct?
They typically do about 12, but they did increase it a little bit for us because of some feedback I had given them. So I don't want to increase it more than the 18. They're good at that number. So if we add communities, I just want to make sure we remove an equal amount since they've already agreed to do a little bit more than normal.
Well, I would take Adrian out and add Deerfield, since we've lost a couple people to Deerfield. I'd like to know how we stack up against them. I think we lost a DPW worker, and did we lose a water treatment plant?
I believe so, Jerry.
So I'd be okay striking Adrian and adding Deerfield there.
My only comment would be, I think Oakland County, obviously they pay a lot more, they have a higher tax base, whatnot, but again, people tend to flock to where the money is, so I think a comparable from Oakland County would benefit us. We had a police officer head up that way, our former administrator that, temporary administrator that had applied here, ultimately wound up, can't remember where that is, but let's see, somewhere up there, so. Again, apples to oranges, I think, money talks, and I think we should find out what other people are paying, good, bad, or ugly.
So looking at removing Adrian, Cedar Springs and Hillsdale, and adding Chelsea, Deerfield and Oakland. So we're thinking.
That works for you guys.
Do you have a municipality in mind, Mike, for Oakland County? I don't know of any. I mean, other than looking at them, start looking through comparables or close, or if we know where one of our people may have went to up there.
Okay, went to sheriff's department. Didn't it?
White Lake.
White Lake,
Yeah. There's like South Lion, there's, I mean, they're not even that big, well, Sterling Heights, something like that.
Strong Heights is pretty big. Fourth largest city in the state.
Got money up. I don't know, any town in Oakland, the county, it doesn't matter to me, but.
Any idea what the population is there at White Lake?
White Lake, 31,384, White Lake Township.
So some of the villages in that county would be Beverly Hills, Bingham Farms, Franklin.
I think Oak Park's paying officers about 80 grand for reasonable, so that's just an officer position.
I mean, cities, there's Fenton, Ferndale, Hazel Park, Bloomfield Hills, Clawson.
Prior Clausen might not be bad. Troy's big, obviously, but again. I'd say just for a number, let's, Clausen works.
Boston's like 12,000. But it gives me a good idea.
So do you have a list, Danielle, or you want to read anything off or no?
Sorry, I was just trying to look here. So it looks like the village of Franklin's got a 31, 33 population too. I don't know if you guys said you wanted Clausen. I'm good with either one. But I'm good with what you guys recommended. Remove Cedar Springs, Adrian and Hillsdale, add Chelsea, Deerfield, and then whatever community from Oakland County you guys agree with works for me.
I think that'll give us a good starting point. Anyone okay with that? No. All right. You got your comparables, Danielle, not gonna work.
And just one other, this kind of side note, are you guys good to leaving the communities from Ohio? They don't normally do that, but because of our proximity, I had asked if that was a possibility. So they had listed those 5 on there that would be kind of extra above. I don't know, it's up to you guys. I had one employee that felt we shouldn't compare to Ohio because it's different. But potentially my thought was we could lose or recruit from there. But it's really up to you guys. I'm good either way.
Well, we know Ottawa Hills is gonna be a lot higher than what we can afford, but I don't see why Swan or White House wouldn't be a decent comparable. Again, if the entire process is just trying to get, different numbers and what people are paying and what people are providing, again, I'd say the more the merrier, but it doesn't really matter to me who we pick, just as long as we have a good assortment of municipalities. You guys want an Ohio?
I would go with either Swanton or Waseon. Just proximity wise, but I guess White House isn't that far.
Besides Swans.
Swan.
Swan and White House.
See, I always think White House is far.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, all right. Going up, Swan, White House, what do you want? Swan, Danielle for Ohio.
Perfect.
Okay, we're just gonna add that to it.
Yep, that works.
That'd be number 19.
Yes.
All right.
Is this something we'll provide to all the municipalities in the county? When we get it?
So some of it will be specific to Blissfield because it is geared and focused to us. But we will be able to share the information, which MML will actually share out as well. But yes, we can share like the comparative wages and benefits portion.
I don't think you need a formal motion for that. Do you just want to move forward with it, or do you want a motion?
No, I'm good. I don't need a formal motion. Like I said, I just wanted to have this conversation open with the public so that we were just being transparent. So if you guys are good moving forward, I've got your list and I know Lisa's taking notes too, so we should be good.
Okay, thank you. This, and then I guess fill the public and it's provided by the MML. They're gonna do a wage and benefit study, so hopefully get an idea of comparables to, you know, what we can pay, what we can afford, and we're not trying to be, you know, naive to the fact that we are probably underpaid and where do we come up with. Yes, sir.
I don't think you can just go by population, you have to go by tax base too. Some of these smaller communities have more manufacturing, they have a larger tax base than what we do.
Yep.
We can't go beyond our budget no matter what we get.
But at least we'll have an idea, you know, and we can provide both the staff and the public what people are paying and, you know, yes, that's something that we'll have to address down the line is if we need to raise,
Other villages that have a higher tax base.
if we need to raise wages, obviously something else has to get cut, so that's a discussion down the line, obviously.
And the full final report is going to list the population and what their revenues are for each community. So we're going to be able to see when we get that final product that X community makes 300 million in tax revenue and the village makes 90 million or whatever, and be able to see each of those so that we can factor that in at the end. And all of that will be analyzed and reviewed by the MML, who will then have the final report for Blissfield.
And how long will that take?
So the longest part is sending out these questionnaires for the communities to fill out. They typically see about 30 days. Once they get that back, it'll take MML to about 30 days to complete it. So we're looking at 2 months out.
All right, everybody okay with that? Move forward. Okay, up next, purchase of an actuator for the wastewater treatment plant. Danielle's got a recommended motion. And purchase it to Great Lake Process Control.
Make a motion. I make a motion to purchase the actuator for the wastewater treatment plant upgrade project in the amount of $6,919.84 from Great Lakes Process Control.
Or
Motion Bill second, Eric, to approve the purchase of the actuator for the wastewater treatment plant upgrade project, the amount of $6,919.84 from Great Lakes Process Control. Any questions?
This is a new piece of equipment or? We've not had one before.
No, this goes for the grit removal system in the Universe building.
Okay.
Randy, just explain the. So it says this particular valve meets the spec being NEMA 4.6 rated. Rather than the required NEMA 7. So are we buying something less than what we're looking for or less than what's required?
The valve that was spec'd and purchased by the contractors was the NEMA 4/6. In order to meet the electrical regulations on that building, it has to be NEMA. It was an error on the engineer's part.
So council, if
Purchased and installed, and then in wiring them up, the electrician noticed that, hey, this isn't the right actuator. So at that point, two of them upstairs were incorrectly sent, so those ones just were an easy swap out. This one's a bit different.
So like, well, it doesn't answer the question. Do we need a 7 or do we need?
We need the 7. 7's explosion proof. That building has to be explosion proof.
But you're recommending purchasing a 4.6.
No, we have a 4.6, we're purchasing the 7.
So is this particular? Okay, maybe it's just the okay.
Probably,
Okay, we are buying a 7.
yes.
Okay. That's what I wanted. I didn't want to buy another one down the line. Just wanted to- Okay. Danielle, do you have a comment on that?
I was just going to, and I'm sorry, I did not mean to interrupt Randy there. But this, I did email you guys in my weekly summary about this last week. And I just wanted to make sure that it was clear. I was hoping that that provided some additional information, but the contractor did purchase the correct valve per the specifications. And we actually need the 7. So that's why we're recommending to purchase it through us so that they don't mark it up. It saves us money. It gets us it here as fast as possible because right now it is 22 weeks out. But I do want to be clear that if the engineer or when they submit the final payment for some of this, I would like to have a conversation with them in council because this is something. When they did the plans and specifications for this project, they should have spec'd out the NEMA 7 rather than the 4.6 valve. So we're essentially paying, or the actuator, we're essentially paying for it twice. But we're required by code to have the 7. I just wanted to make sure you guys understood that, I guess. Or if you have questions, let me know.
Well, that's a good point. We appreciate that. So another thing to add on the list for the punch list at the end. Any questions? No. All right, Lisa, if not, we'll call roll.
Tim,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Spencer. Up next on the agenda are the reports. Any questions on the reports? Eric, did you want to give one or?
I think guys, if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer.
I had a question, Mike, on the DDA. Have we established a perimeter for the social district licensing? Or we're just in early stages?
Last I heard early stages. I'm sure Danielle probably can answer to that too. We have not applied for anything yet though.
Correct. So Laura is in early stages. She will be meeting with the DDA Main Street Board initially to discuss the boundary and the area that will be included. And then following that, she'll bring their recommendation to the village council for final approval because the district is established by the village itself and not the DDA, but we do want to include them and have their input since it's within their district. So that'll be coming to you guys, I would think within the next couple of months at the latest.
Okay, thank you.
Input from PD as well would be nice on that one because
Yes, she's already started meeting with Chief, but absolutely that'll be a component to the discussion. And Public Works.
thanks, Tim. Anyone else? Questions on the reports? No, if not, we'll move on to public comment for items not on the agenda. Anybody? Student, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Please state your name and address. Sorry for the record.
My name is Carl Studnicka. I live on 209 Sherman. And I've been notified that there might be a community garden to be. And it'd be nice to have some way to self-sustain Blissfield. Especially when things go out of electrical action and stuff. Solar panels and stuff like this, I'd like to see also be established in some way or another. Of course, that means more work for the people across this microphone, but that's part of your job, isn't it? I think that's about all I need to say at this point in time. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Okay, anybody else from the public comments? No, anything from the press? Any council discussion? All right, we'll make it short and sweet. Have a motion to adjourn then.
Make a motion to adjourn at 7:36 p.m.
Let's work. Got a motion, Bill, second Jerry, go ahead and adjourn at 7:36. There's no discussion, Lisa, please call roll.
Eric,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Jerry,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.